But when I walked out of my house, it was nothing but homies. When I walked back in my house, my father was a homie.
I wasn't sure Dawson really understood what his future could look like if he keeps idealizing this criminal lifestyle. So I asked my friend Joseph to come and explain a few things to him. Joseph, come on out.
Yo, before they have this ex-gangbanger come out and talk to this kid, I have a question. Has the Dr. Phil show ever helped anyone other than the Catch Me Outside, how about that girl? Just was wondering, because that girl rich as hell, but it doesn't seem to, like, help anyone else over the years. I could be wrong, but what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Let's keep going.
How you doing, boss? Good to see you.
Have a seat.
You ever notice how, like, ex-convicts or ex-gangbangers gotta call everybody boss? As if, like, they're still, you know, in a facility or in a corrections, environment. I don't know. It just seems weird to me that after a certain point, once you're released, it ain't too hard to go back to calling someone just a flat-out sir. Once you've served your time, you should hold yourself up high and feel like you're a normal citizen again and not feel like you're still institutionalized and got to call people that may be above you boss.
Joseph, you've been watching everything, right?
Yes, sir.
And Chris and Dawn here are the parents, as you know. And Dawson here is, he seems to be going to an awful lot of trouble to create this thug persona. He's got pictures of him throwing gang signs and guns in his belt and standing in front of a Porsche. And you've been in the life. What do you say about this?
Well, yeah, a lot of kids are going to aspire to that today. That's what they're seeing on TV, in music videos from most of these rappers today. It's all about having that gun, having, that money, a good car, a beautiful girl, all this stuff. Not a single piece of it has anything to do with morals, ethics, values, hard work, and just overall being a decent person. These kids, like this young man, probably feel like, I'm going to be honest, he has no confidence. I can look at this young cat and tell he has no confidence. He's never had confidence, and now he found this little thug persona that's giving him a little clout, giving him a little praise amongst his friends maybe. Who knows? But he's found some sense of love and respect out of it, and that's why he's doing it.
First of all, it's disrespectful. Very much. You got two loving parents right there, man. So something else is inside you that's pushing you out there. But to be a gang member, to think it's cool, bro?
Let's be clear. Doesn't matter if you have two loving parents at home, a single mom, a single dad, your parents always around, your parents not around. If that child doesn't feel like he belongs outside the home to any friend group, any type of community, whether it's sports, music, arts, or gangbanging, the kid will find a place to fit in. And it doesn't matter if you got two loving parents. I know so many dudes that had dope moms at home, had dope moms and dads at home, that still went out to them streets. Because despite all the love they got at home, they wanted love outside the home too.
I've been shot 4 times. By the time I was 25, I had 13 years incarcerated. I was first arrested at 9 years old.
And let's stop doing that. Let's stop telling these kids, I was shot 4 times. I served 10 years in prison. Because you can tell them that, and yeah, they have an idea of what that is. But until they experience it, them just words. Them just words. You ain't telling them nothing that they really gonna listen to. They're not gonna fear it unless they're in it. Yeah, and because they can't perceive what it's like, sitting in a cell all day, every day, having your rights stricken from you, being violated in various ways by other people. They can't really process in their mind. They can have a thought about it, but the actual understanding of what some criminals and some people have gone through while being locked up, or what it feels like to actually get shot or stabbed They can't comprehend it. They have an idea because they've seen movies, but they can't process what that actually feels like. So all those threats and warnings, it's like sometimes, say you hand someone a hot pot, right? And they keep wanting to grab it from the bottom, and you keep telling them to grab it from the handles. You can warn them that it's hot and it's going to burn them, but some people just got to touch the bottom and find out that it's hot on their own.
But when I walked out of my house, it was nothing but homies. When I walked back in my house, my father was a homie when he was not in prison. I thought those were the cards that were dealt to me. To hear you say this cool, it blows me away, youngster. It breaks my heart.
Yeah, but once again, that is on that ex-gangbanger guy. The fact that he went home and saw his parents as his homies. We've all watched TV. I'm sure he grew up around the same time I grew up, maybe older. He's seen TV. He's seen a representation of what a good parent is supposed to be like. And when he saw his parents thinking that they were his homies, he himself should have known something was wrong. Kind of like me and my upbringing. A lot of the adults around me, including my older brother gangbanged, which is why I didn't gangbang. Why? Because I watched people do it. I watched him go through it. I didn't need to burn my hands on the pot because I watched other people burn their hands. The fact that you saw your dad as a homie and what he was doing and going in and out of prison, and you thought about it was cool to do the same thing, that's a choice you made. You weren't smart enough to see the right and wrong because the odds are you had examples. You ignored those examples.
To carry a gun, like what are you gonna do when somebody runs up on you and you got a strap? You're gonna pull the trigger. And then what do you do? You can't give that life back, bro. I don't think you're a hard kid. You don't have a heart? I got a heart. You got a heart, bro. There's nothing cool about taking somebody's life. I promise you.
He's right about that. There's nothing cool about taking somebody's life. There's nothing cool about it at all. That's why so many people who go to the military take lives and they come back messed up. Because it sticks with you. Stays with you. Some people do it and it doesn't bother. But most of us, if you have a conscience and a heart, it's going to bother you. But once again, like I said earlier, you can give him the warnings. But because he hasn't experienced that kind of guilt of harming something and actually feeling bad, it's probably still falling on deaf ears. Like, for example, me when I was younger. Now, this is a completely different thing, but it still holds weight. I was playing football. I used to play football. And one of my friends, I went and I tackled him. And when I tackled him, he had a seizure. It freaked me out from football for like 2-3 years. Because I didn't want to deep down hurt nobody. I had heart. I had conscience. I had morals. I had values. I might not have gotten all of them from home, and I might have gotten some of them from TV, but I had them. And that's how I know other people had the opportunity to have them as well. If you watched any level of TV, any level of, TGI Friday, you have morals and values. If you watch the Cosbys at all, Family Matters, any of these types of shows, if you watch Family Ties, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, any of them, you gained some values and you understood right and wrong. Now, if you chose that path, that's on you.
You were in the Dukes at 11 years old, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that someplace he wants to be?
No, sir. Disneyland is a good place to go. The street life, bro, I don't do the scared straight thing because you're gonna be like, that's what they all say. Going to prison sucks. My boys have died in my arms, man. When I look at the videos, you don't look, and this is no disrespect to you as a person, you don't look tough, bro, but I'm not judging a book by its cover. You just gave yourself up on national TV. You're going to jail. I was waiting for the police to come in. So your gang career is out of there. No, it's really gone. It's done.
I don't agree with that last statement. Just because he self-snitched on himself doesn't necessarily mean it's over with. The only thing that's going to mean it's over with is if the young man decides to change his ways. A lot of people have snitched on themselves, gone to jail, came right back out, and ended up right back in the life. I've seen it 1,000 times. Numerous people go, get locked up, come back out, claim they learned their lesson, and fall right back to it. So just because the police know you're a gangbanger ain't going to stop someone from being a gangbanger. But the truth is, though, is he's right. That kid doesn't have it in him. You can look at him. You can tell that kid ain't about that life. That kid was an insecure, scared little kid that found a way to get some kind of power in the environment that he was in, outside of his home, whether he had loving parents or not. He wanted to be seen. He wanted to be respected. He wanted to be somebody. And instead of doing something difficult, like going to a sport or winning some accolades or shooting for anything that is special, whether it be academic, artistic, creative, athletic, it doesn't matter. He could have went for something bigger. But instead he found the thing that he saw probably on some hip-hop, rap, trap video, music video, and said, oh, I can do that. And then he probably mimicked it in front of his friends once, and he got a reaction, and it grew from there. That's more than likely what happened. One moment where he mocked some rap video he saw, his friends gave him a reaction, and he was a thug from that point on. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I appreciate y'all. Till the next time. Peace.